The new builder information we have for NBA 2K26 is insane. They actually seem to have made major changes, and they dropped a whole hour video explaining every single one. And this is what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna go over every little detail in that video because you could just watch the video. What I'm gonna do is talk about the 5 things I noticed that were different, and I really think they need to be talked about in this game. There's a lot here. I'm excited to talk about it. Que pasa to the pack? It is Pack here. If you like NBA 2K26 news, updates, and info, please join the pack and subscribe, and let's go. Up first is that there is a bunch of brand new build names being added into the game. They talk about it right here, where you can even see on this build alone, it is an ISO Savant. So a build name that I've never seen before, now added into the game. But this is what they said. They said that there are 10 times the build names than there was in NBA 2K25. That is scary. The 10 times more. There was already, I'd argue, about 100 names. So we're talking about 500 names that you can make in this game. Is nuts, and it makes sense because here you can even see, when I'll talk about this more in a second, but when you do build specialization stuff, you can have special build names based off the specializations that you did. And because there's 5 different specialties, bro, we are opening up a can of worms of names, and I cannot wait to see the Easter egg builds, because this year we had demigod and other stuff like that. I wonder what they're gonna cook with the build names this year. Wait, we are doing a giveaway if you want to win one of the 3 copies of NBA 2K26 that I'm going to be giving away on August 29th. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment done, and I will pick 3 lucky winners in the comments by August 29th. Let's get back to the video. At number 2, this is kind of like the big one, right? Badge perks. You already know about Max +1 in NBA 2K25, where if you get to, I believe, level 30 on your battle pass or season pass, you get Max +1 on a build. Well, now you can get also a Max +2. That one's crazy. So that, for example, if you get a gold badge, you can Max +2 it to legend. The builds in this game are starting to look crazy. There's also 2 other badges that you can get, which is a clutch gene badge. This is one where you get it in the 4th quarter or in the end of games and park games, and then the other one is hot start, where you get it in the beginning of a game. Those are also cool. I prefer these over with like the original stuff that they had before. I much prefer these for my build. But this is the crazy part, is that Stacks asked Evan, and they're permanent, and he said yes.
Just to be sure we heard that correct, I want no misinformation going on. You said permanent Max +2s?
Yes. Yes, I believe so. I believe they are permanent.
That part of this video is insane, that they're permanent, because the Max +1 is not permanent. It's only for that season. The fact that we can get the Max +2 and it's going to be permanent, dude, I'm going to be building my entire builds based off of these badges if that's the case. There are so many layers to build making this year that it's kind of scary. At number 3 is build specialization requirements. So as I mentioned before, there's going to be build specializations that you can pick. So not only can you make your build how you always do, you can also choose between different categories. Like you want to be a shooter, you want to be a finisher, a defender. You have those options. And then you have 9 goals inside of those options, where let's say on goal 9, if you make 2,000 mid-range shots or 2,000 3-point shots, you unlock a special gift, which would be not only a shooting sleeve, but also the Max +2 permanent shooting badge. That is nuts. And you have a ton of these, like make 1,000 shots, win 100 games with 5 or more jumpers made. And the requirements are getting unique archetype names, getting Max +1, getting cap breakers for your specific attributes. So you have really, really good rewards that you want to win. Now, that being said, 1,000, 2,000 shots made is kind of a lot. Even if you just made 5 shots a game, that's 400 games played to get the 2,000 requirement That's a ton, but the rewards are so good, it kind of makes me want to grind it just to get those rewards because they're too broken. Now we're getting into the crazy one. They said that you can be taller and shorter than you have ever been able to in NBA 2K history. They have increased the max height from 7'3" to 7'4", and they have not mentioned or announced what's the shortest height you can be. Currently it's 5'9". I wouldn't be surprised if we went down to like 5'7" or 5'6". We can make Wemby 7'4" players or Zach Edey style 7'4" players. And they did specify that they are making sure that it is fair. Like, yes, you can make it 7'4", and yes, you can make yourself short, but we gotta make sure that those builds matter and are important. They said that they noticed last year that a lot of builds are kind of the same height. They want to make sure that every height is broken. I'm not gonna lie, I might make my first build 7'4" just for like the memes. You're gonna be so tall compared to everybody else. It is gonna be fire. And you know what? Although I can see this being cheesy, I have asked for this for a long time. So I'm glad that they've done this because it's a long time coming. And finally, this one is just as broken as all of them. Custom takeovers. W. So now what they're saying is that you can get a takeover and build it however you want. So, for example, let's say I really like the deep 3 shooting takeover. I really like to shoot from deep. I hate that in order to get a lot of those, you can't get anything else with it. Now that I can get that deep shooting 3 takeover with a dunking takeover, or with a steals takeover, which is what, like, 2 things I would really like to have, right? I can combine those into one takeover just for me. That is gonna be nuts. They also mentioned that there was way too many takeover descriptions. Now they're gonna simplify it to only 11 takeovers for this year. That is probably the biggest W of all the things in this video. You are gonna be able to make the most detailed, different builds in this game. And there's a ton of stuff I didn't even mention, like the cap breakers giving you plus 14s, plus 15s on just one category. You can do crazy stuff with this year. I'm worried personally that demigods are coming back this year, because imagine if I made a 7'4" center with legend set shot specialist, and then I had cap breakers for my dribbling, and then my takeover was dunking and defense. You're gonna be able to do everything at 7'4". That is gonna be terrifying. But honestly, at least for the first month, it sounds like a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get my hands on this builder, and I have a ton of builds I already have in mind. Is there a build you guys want me to make? Let me know in the comments below for the first week, and I'll help you guys out. And if you like this channel and build making, I'll be doing it all year. You guys know I give you guys the best descriptions and the signs behind these builds. I'm gonna help you guys out. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time.